golf is just is completely broken now.
That was such a strange. So this season, that first season of Full Swing covered 2022, that PGA Tour, as everyone was speculating who's gonna go, who's gonna stay, what's the deal. They hadn't yet left. And then by the end of that season on Netflix, you had seen who had left. And then this happened, and I was like, I know enough about golf, but I'm not seasoned. I'm not super informed. I was shocked that day.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That we're just like, never mind, we're just together.
I just don't understand how... I think I kind of understand live in a way, but as a golfer, it's not golf.
No.
It's not competitive golf.
Yeah.
It has no drama. It has no build-up. It has no...
Tradition?
Yeah, and I get...
Tradition
okay, yeah. And part of the tradition are the courses.
Yeah?
It's not just the golfers, right? And this kind of like... This is going to be a crazy reference, but hear me out. When the Dukes of Hazzard was on, they actually, Bo and Luke wanted more money.
Okay.
And they were like, no. They said, okay, well, we're leaving the show. They're like, okay, well, we'll be fine. We don't need you. We have the General Lee. Well, guess what? The ratings plummeted when they tried to bring in this other storyline of Coy and Vance. And it turns out it's not just the General Lee, but you need Bo and Luke as well.
You do.
And so I think people think that, oh, well, we have Dustin Johnson. But I don't care to watch Dustin Johnson play a scramble. That's all not a scramble, a shotgun at Pumpkin Ridge in Oregon. As nice as Pumpkin Ridge might be as a public golf course that I can play, it's not a PGA. It's not, it doesn't have the storied history.
Right.
And golf has had no problem with having a storied history. It takes years and years and years for the Masters, for Augusta to become iconic. Or Pebble Beach to become iconic, or Tory Pines.
Yeah.
I don't even know where they play, and I don't even care.
Yeah.
And the fact that they all, again, a shotgun start, who cares? Like, part of golf is if it's your first time you're trying to win on the tour, that kid let's say they're a young person, it could even be on the women's tour, and they need to go to bed nervous. Right. And they need to throw up all night.
Yeah.
And they need to not sleep.
Right.
Because that's what pressure does to you. And you wake up, and guess what? You have a 3 p.m. tee time because you're in the lead group.
Yeah.
Versus all the guys who aren't, they're going to go out early because they didn't play well. And there's no cut. Everyone gets money. Like, what are we doing here? I was telling whoever, just see if you can get on the, how do you even get on the live tour? Because you're going to make money. It is a joke.
And I get it, but then I look at players who left. Dustin Johnson, he's been in that quite a long time,
Brooks.
They won their big champions on the PGA. They did they did it.
Cameron
essentially,
Smith.
right.
Yeah.
They're getting to that age.
True.
Where it's like, I'm looking at my family. I'm looking at my legacy. I'm looking at my endorsement deals. I'm looking at the fact that most of my athletic years are behind me.
Yeah.
How much longer can I be in this?
I understand.
I could make a signing bonus, double what I'm getting at a purse for. I get it. On a business sense and then protecting yourself and your family, I'd say go get your bag.
Well, here's what doesn't make sense. So you're right. For the most part, I don't care if I like Dustin Johnson, but he is getting up there. I totally understand. Right. But, it hurts when the Cameron Smiths walk away, who just won the British Open, and he walks away.
Yeah.
Bryson and Brooks. The rest of them, you're over 40. You're never going to win again, Sergio or Ian Poulter. Who cares? Good riddance.
Go get your money.
We're not going to be hurt by your exit. But here's what's frustrating from a business standpoint. In the U.S., we're used to business, right? So the PGA Tour, the PGA of America, it's a business. So you have a tournament, and the tournament exists because it's profitable, right? And it draws the biggest players in, and there's prize money, and there's TV contracts and all this stuff. Well, now you have this tour that's funded by billionaires, and there is no ratings.
Yeah.
There's no merchandise. No one cares, yet they're giving them insane money. So it's it just doesn't match up from I don't care to watch, but maybe 3 of them
Yeah.
The rest of them, nobody even knows who they are, and they're getting paid. So like, what are we doing? This is counter to like how
the culture of
culture of like golf and the business of sport, right? And,
I agree.
And I have a little bit of an issue too when it's like, the equity of pay in men and women's sports. Like it's all about ticket sales and stuff, right? Like if you fill an arena, then you should get a ton of money because you filled the arena and you're selling shoes and all that. But like, unfortunately, if it's, some sport that doesn't have a big following, how are you supposed to pay them all this big money when they're not bringing in the money?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that I'm like, what is the Saudis it seems like they just don't care. To me, it's almost like they're doing this as a write-off.